Hello and welcome to All Things Seniors. This is your host, Rafiq. I have over 20 years of caregiving experience, and on this channel, I empower other caregivers one episode at a time. Today, we will talk about disaster planning and what we as caregivers should do and should know to be able to provide better care for our loved ones. I'm sure you have seen in October, just a couple of months back, there were back-to-back big hurricanes, Helene and Milton in Florida. Now, as we speak, there are raging wildfires in California. These are big natural disasters, and we are seeing more and more of these. So what we as caregivers should be doing so that we can help our loved ones on an ongoing basis. Today, we'll discuss 4 such things, okay? Number 1, what we need to prepare for as the most important factor to consider is mobility. Many older adults, they love their independence, like for example, my dad uses his own cane while he's walking. Even when in snowy conditions, getting into the car, if I'll say, let me give you my hand, and he'd say, no, I'm good, but he walks slowly, right? He walks slowly, he uses his cane. Some people use a walker. Some people have their own ways of maintaining their independence. But at the time of a natural disaster where there is a rush and urgency and everybody is like moving fast, you don't want that to be a surprise that all of a sudden now mobility becomes a factor which is a hesitant or a resistant to evacuation, where you have to be like on your toes or running fast, right? We need to consider that, for example, somebody like my dad usually walks with a cane, but on a day if I have to evacuate in our home, we need to have a wheelchair, for example, so that he doesn't have to worry about, oh my God, I'm slowing everyone down. He can use the wheelchair that day, and we as a family can evacuate fast. On those homes where there are multi-levels, like in my home, my dad usually walks slowly and climb the stairs or get down. But on a day like that, do we need to have a small lift so that he can get down fast? All those things need to be considered so that mobility does not become a hamper in evacuation. So number 1 is mobility. Make sure that is well thought after. Number 2, plan for medical needs and assistive needs. What do I mean by that? Many older adults, like in my family, I have 3, my mom, my dad, and my mother-in-law. All 3 of them have their own routine of different medications throughout the day. Now, if we were to evacuate, I have to make sure that we have that medication with us. So in your evacuation plan, please do consider having a small bag of emergency medication so that when you leave, you don't leave the medication behind, because you don't want to find yourself in an evacuation where there is traffic jam, you are in your car for next 8 hours and your loved one does not have access to that medication. So few days, maybe a couple of weeks worth of medication, carry it in your evacuation bag. Whatever your specific need are, make sure that those requirements, like whether it's a hearing aid or a set of glasses, all those things will become a necessity in case of an evacuation plan. So considering that will be key. Number 3, discuss the evacuation plan in advance with your loved one. See, set realistic expectations. I was referring to my dad using his cane and walk independently but slowly. Now, if I have not already discussed with him that, hey dad, in an emergency, I may have to request you to please on that particular moment, don't worry too much about your independence, but please allow me to have you on the wheelchair so that as a family we can evacuate faster. If this expectation has been set properly, as a family, it will become an easier moment. See, an evacuation is never easy, but planning it in advance with your loved one so that you both are on the same page will just make things a bit more easier, and there is one less conflict to take care of. That's my number 3, have realistic expectation about urgency and mobility plan. So this was my top 3. Before I go to number 4, if you are liking this content, like the episode, subscribe to the channel. What it does, it tells YouTube, hey, look at this caregiver. If they are liking it, more caregivers will also like it, and YouTube will show this content to more caregivers and will be able to help more people. Number 4, many older adults or people who have some sensory or visual challenges. In case of an evacuation plan where there are a lot of sirens going on or traffic or honking, it becomes extremely overwhelming for them. So my suggestion to you would be have peace for them, to have calm for them, have noise cancellation devices, whether it's headphone, earplugs, a calming music, whatever that is, allow your loved one to have some kind of an isolation from that chaotic moment outside. So, and again, this is one of those things which you cannot just impose on them. It has to be an option for them if they were to choose this option. And again, discussing this in advance would be key so that there are no surprises on the last minute. So these were my top 4. What is something that has helped you or your family? Write in the comments so that I can learn from you and other viewers can learn from you. And we all caregivers learn from each other. We'll be able to help our loved ones more and provide better care. My advice always is take care of yourself, because a rested caregiver is a better caregiver. Thank you for watching today, and I'll see you in the next episode. Until then, ciao.